everyone. Okay, so this meeting is being recorded so that we could post this on our website a little bit later. So like Jonathan shared, we have about 50 people or so, 50 families that have registered, but as we get going, more will come on in. We also have our chat box open, and if you have questions on the chat or you have questions, feel free to write them on the chat box and we'll do our best to answer them, or at the end we can address those questions as well. We also have our interpreters here today. So we have, I believe, Arabic interpretation, Korean interpretation. Jonathan, any other languages?
Just the Arabic and Korean for today.
Perfect. And then we also have, we're joined by Ms. Choi, our assistant principal, who's here today listening in, and also Ms. Shachar. And Shachar, and there's going to be a point in this, Ms. Cohen Hodos, and she'll be able to introduce herself in a little while as well. And so let's get started. It's so good to see everybody. We're not doing things, well, we can do things in person, but right now we're being with an abundance of caution. We're going to do this online, and we really had not a lot of people who wanted to be in person, so it was better for us to do this virtually. And then again, we're going to just post this a little later. So this is our monthly coffee with the principal. I have to get back into the routine of doing things virtually again, right? Went back to in person, and now it's virtual for some of these meetings. But I just wanted to share with you our vision as we kind of move forward as a reminder. This is what we are trying to accomplish and what we are doing here. And this is what our vision and mission statement is. Our teachers have really taken this into heart in their classes, and that we champion a collaborative community that excels in student-centered learning opportunities, creative thinking, embracing diversity. We empower compassionate citizens of tomorrow to meet the demands of our ever-changing global society. So see, these are just some of the things we had done last semester. I wanted to share some pictures of the fun run, art shows, our extended lunches, our concerts. We had a fabulous choir performances and band performances. We've done all types of community service projects. And this is in addition to the things that are happening in the classroom. But today, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to do a lot of updates. We're going to talk a little bit about second semester. We're going to talk about COVID updates, what registration is going to look like. We'll give you an opportunity to ask these questions. Jonathan will share some more updates for you at the end of the meeting. I don't think this is going to be a long coffee with the principal, but certainly it's a great start to our second semester for everyone. This is an important survey. If you have your phone out and if you can take a picture of the QR code, this is our LCAP parent orientation, and this is information. Remember, the LCAP is a lot of what drives what we are focusing on as a district, and it drives a lot of the funding for our district. So it does give you valuable insight and information. It'll help you understand the why behind what we do, where we place our money. And this is an important survey for all of our parents. We want everybody to fill this out. We give this to our staff as well. And then the other stakeholder group is our students. And we ask our students to fill these questions out as well. So what is important to you and what we would like to focus on as a district. There is going to be a meeting Tuesday, January 25th. It's from 6 to 7. It's going to be a Zoom meeting because this will be district-wide. So please join us for this meeting. Your voices are important, and we do want to hear from you, from our community. Jonathan, is there anything you want to add to this piece?
Yeah, just letting parents know for the LCAP parent orientation, it's really just for parents to get an idea of what the LCAP process looks like and how their voice could be heard once we do kind of meet together later on in the year. We break out into different committees to talk about the different ways we could go impact our schools. So I think there's about 5 different committee groups that work together, talking about culture, school culture, parent engagement, facilities. So there's a whole bunch of different things that we break off and talk about. So if you want to learn more about the LCAP process and how to get involved, that parent orientation is going to give you a lot of great information. But we encourage all parents to take the LCAP survey. So LCAP survey is going to take a few minutes, but if you want to get more involved, that LCAP parent orientation will give you a good idea of how you can make a bigger difference.
That's great. So big thing coming up this right now is registration. We're in the process. Feel free to take a picture of the screen. It is going to start in January. We don't finish it until March. It's a pretty lengthy process. We end up going with our counselors to our feeder elementaries and going and talking to them about the electives that we offer, what the process is. It's a little bit different this year in terms of we would typically invite our feeder elementaries to Lexington. We usually have a whole day set up where they get to explore our campus, and the band is playing and the choir is singing, and they get to go and see what junior high is all about. Unfortunately, we can't do that this year, but we have created a video. We are going to be going to visit them. This is happening January 25th through February 4th. For our current students, our 7th graders, our counselors will be visiting their classrooms in the history classes. And I'll show you what the registration materials is going to look like. And then they will have an opportunity to fill out their registration forms. And then February 23rd, our Cypress community, our Cypress High School will be coming in to speak with our 8th graders. And this will be, I believe, in the science classes. And then they'll get them ready for 9th grade. We do have an upcoming coffee with the principal with Cypress High School. We'll share that out in a few slides. But by March 2nd, we should have all of our cards in, and then we will be ready to go. So if you are wondering when that registration process was happening for your 7th grader or perhaps for your 8th grader, then that's the timeline for you. There are some things that are going to be a little bit different this year. So I'm only going to focus on 8th grade because our counselors will be going to the elementary schools to talk to them about incoming 7th graders. So for right now, for our current 7th grade parents, one of the big things that we need to make sure that you're aware of, and this is what our counselors will be talking about, is the health elective or the health requirement that needs to be completed in junior high. So most of our students, our current 7th grade students, have not taken health yet. That means that we are implementing health from this point forward in the 8th grade year. There is going to be some options that are going to be part of the registration, just so we can get a feel for where our parents and our students are at. And this is a draft. It'll look a little different for when we go to the classes, but do we want health in person, online, over the summer, before school, after school? And this will give us an idea of where our students are at and our teacher and our parents are at. Besides that, we are offering all of the electives that we have from this year. And so I can give you a broad look at what we're offering for next year. And more to come on this. For packets should be being sent home to you, so you can have conversations with your kids, as well as the site is going to be updated with all of the registration materials and course descriptions, so you can read through them on your own. I see that we are being joined by Officer Yu. Hopefully that's the next slide. So it's perfect. I'm pleased to present or introduce you to Angus Yu, who is our officer for the city of Cypress, who joins us, I believe, from his vehicle right now. And we're going to have a special Donuts with Officer Yu, February 7th at 10:30. And it really is just to meet and have conversations with our SRO, Safety Resource Officer, Officer Yu. So I don't know if you want to say hello to everyone. Can't hear you though.
How's that? All right. Good morning, everyone. Look forward to doing the donuts with me on February 7th.
So just a little shout out to Officer Yu. He comes to our campus Monday through Thursday. He's here every day for lunch. The kids all gravitate towards him. Every time he's on campus, they're like, stickers, where's my sticker? And then, he's getting to know everybody really, really well. And it's a great presence for Cypress PD to be here on campus to create those relationships. And he's going to share a lot about what he does and what he's been doing here.
Thanks, Danny. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you. And please join us for that fun Zoom. It's going to be a joint Zoom between us, Oxford, and Cypress High School as well.
Yep.
All right. COVID update. I got to go a little bit in depth with COVID update. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box, and we will do our best to answer them. Miss Choi, our assistant principal who oversees COVID safety pieces here on campus. I still believe she's online, yes, she's still online. And we'll all be able to answer them. So right now, we are in person. There is no plan to not be in person. We know that there's concerns over possibly going back to remote learning again. That is not something that's being discussed. So please know that we are taking all these safety precautions and measures so that we can be in person safely. And this is just some of the pieces that we have added. And of course, we're still implementing these pieces from last semester. Our staff does daily health checks. We do require masks indoors in all our district facilities. Every classroom is equipped with a high quality air purifier. We have upgraded since the beginning of COVID, all of our air filters in HVAC. All of our high touch areas are sanitized twice per day. So let me share what that means. When we talk about high touch areas, we're talking about doorknobs on the outside. We're talking about our lunch tables. We're talking about these types of pieces. We do have our custodial staff does come through between 10 to noon during the daytime and wipes down the entire campus and sprays all the doorknobs. At the end of the day, our night crew also goes inside the classrooms and outside the classrooms and sanitizes everything. So we take it very seriously in terms of making sure, and this is above and beyond, that we are doing these sanitation pieces. Of course, hand sanitizers are available in all classrooms, and we do have the portable hand washing stations. These are, there's other safety protocols that we have implemented as well, but these are some of the pieces that we're doing. This is district-wide, and this is absolutely what's happening here at Lexington. There are some, because we have seen an increase in COVID, and especially with students testing positive, maybe exposures, maybe having COVID-like symptoms, I wanted to share that there is this questionnaire and the questionnaire really is the report submission form. The district has put on right on the website, AUHSD website. So it's a pop-up, and the pop-up will come up with this window box that you see here. You can click on that, fill out the questions, then the contact tracers will call you. I appreciate everybody's patience because right now there is a delay in the contact tracing. So you may be wondering why. I've submitted the form, my child wasn't feeling well, there was a close contact or a positive case in my family, and I haven't heard back from the contact tracers. As you probably can understand, that the district is overwhelmed in terms of all of these cases coming in. So there is a delay in the contact tracing. We are hiring additional contact tracers to help expedite this response time for cases reported. And then this goes for, because they're also doing this for staff as well, right? So if you imagine all the students, but we also have our staff. So I wanted to share this with you and give you some time if you want to ask questions in regards to the COVID updates as well. And you always feel free to either put in the chat box, or if you have a question, you can unmute your mic. You can ask your question as well. I'd be happy to stop. Other things that we've been doing is we have provided a test kit for every student. We have one antigen testing kit that's available for each student. Notices have been sent out by Mr. Barba that they can pick it up between 2:25 and 3:15 every day. Those students will have to go to the nurse's office. If she isn't there, then the next person to go see is Mr. Barba, our faces. We can only give out one. So only one antigen testing kit per student. If you as a parent would like to pick up one, then just please come to the main office and we'll be happy to distribute it to you. We do keep a list, so we ask that it's just one per student. And every day we have kids coming up to us and asking for them. If you would like a PCR test kit that takes a little bit longer to send those in, those are the ones you have to mail in. You may go see the LVN, that's our nurse, and you may go see Jonathan again after school, and we'll be happy to provide one for you. And those we have a little bit more. They do have an expiration time on it. So if you do want a PCR one, we'd be happy to give those to you as well. And the last thing I wanted to share was about just being understanding, flexible as we kind of working through these challenges. You know, when you're in the classroom, and I put this out in my Monday memo, that it truly is, kids are engaged, they're learning. I've talked to the teachers today, and it's as if the inside the classroom is this sort of own little world where everybody really is doing what they should be doing in a normal year. Then all of a sudden you step outside the classroom and then you're hit with all the COVID pieces. So please know that we're doing our best effort to make sure that we're continuing this normal year. And it really is very important that we keep these safety practices. So we do ask that you share, help us by having your student bring a mask or encouraging them to wear the masks inside. We do have to postpone some pieces, adapt what we're doing. Sometimes we're changing previous activities that were scheduled, just so that we can accommodate the safety, so that we're not overwhelmed by the amount of exposures, and that we can continue this in-person education. And I know that's really important for you. It's important for us. Please know that it's important for my staff. And so again, I just wanted to thank everybody for your flexibility as we work through these pieces. And I'll pause for a second or a minute if you have any questions for me regarding COVID. Okay. I'm going to take that off. So I wanted to, as we start our second semester, we're about 3 weeks in, something along those lines. I wanted to share with you some of our academic and emotional supports. We do have our homework club that is continuing every Monday through Thursday from 2:30 to 3:30 in the library. There is a teacher that is there every day. I don't walk in there every day, but Mr. Barba's in there. That's where his office is. And it is full every day from 2:30 to 3:30. There are kids in there and they're working hard. So we love to see that. So if your child is struggling in a class or if you want some extra support, please let them know about the homework club. eCadence, if your student is out for an extended period of time, there is information regarding each class and how to access materials that's posted on the teacher's homepage. eCadence is ongoing, and so if you have any questions about eCadence, please contact Mr. Barba or the front office, and we'll be happy to help you out with that. Also, please know that eCadence is what we use as sort of a digital school platform, but our official platform for grades and assignments is Aries. So whenever you want to look at your students' progress in a classroom or attendance, you have to check Aries. Sometimes the eCadence grades may not be synced up with the grade books from Aries, so it doesn't reflect their current assignments. This is posted on our eCadence homepages so that parents are aware that please go to Aries if you really want to see where their assignments are and their true grade is. And of course, I put our counseling support on the screen for you. Ms. Guillaume, our lead counselors, A through K. Ms. Wonder is L through Z. We have an additional counselor this year with Mr. Romero. We have our FACES, which stands for Family and Community Engagement Service Specialist. That's a typo there. It should be specialist, not services. And that's Mr. Barba. We have a district social worker that's been assigned to us full time. That's Ms. Lopez. Right now we have our school psychologist, Ms. Walters. If you do have any need or questions regarding school psychologists, testing or otherwise, please email Ms. Walters, but please also include the counselor in this as well so that we can help you. And then we also, starting this semester, we have what we call an RJ specialist, stands for Restorative Justice Specialist. This is Mrs. Cohen-Hodos, who comes from us. I'll let her introduce herself to you. And she can tell us a little bit about what she's doing. Go for it.
Hi, everyone. It's really nice to see you all here. I'm Ms. Shahar. I'm a restorative justice specialist on campus, and I work with Orange County Human Relations and get to work with your awesome kids at Lexington. I do lots of things on campus, but I really help students navigate all sorts of conflict, interpersonal conflict. And I give them tools and space to be able to figure out how to be in school and in class with other people as they're navigating that. And so I'm here for all sorts of support. And I just messaged you, Mr. Barba, my information that you can drop into the chat to everyone if you want. If your student is talking to you about something that's happening at school with a friend, or maybe they're trying to figure out how to talk to their teacher about something difficult, I'm here to really help them figure out that process. And you can send them, you can suggest that they come to my room 201, or send me an email.
It's wonderful to have Ms. Shahar here. You know, we know that one of the big challenges coming back from remote learning this year, and it's been a huge focus for us, has been community building and continuing those relationship building. Ms. Shahar, we felt there was definitely a need for us to kind of bring her on board and help establish those relationships, especially, you know, as kids become kids again and learning how to speak to one another and also learning how to navigate and speaking with teachers. So we want to make sure that that's what she's here for, and she really does help us out in those pieces. So, and she just Mr. Barba just put her information on the text. Feel free to email her as well. And yeah, we're happy that she is here. So here are some upcoming events for second semester. I look, these are two great pictures. Yes.
I did have two questions before we move forward.
Sure.
From parents. One of them is regarding attendance for students during COVID. If they are out because of COVID, will they lose their perfect attendance record for any COVID related absences? And then someone wanted clarification on the restorative justice specialist. Is she like another counselor for our students?
Two great questions. So we'll answer the first one first. So whenever we have a student who reports out that they are positive, staying home for whatever might be the reason, we do mark them absent. It is an excused absence. It is not necessarily, we have a special code that we put on the attendance. It's a K. Don't ask me what the K stands for, but that's what it is. It's a K. And the K signifies that they're out for an extended period of time. It does also let our teachers know that this is the reasons why that student is out, our staff members. So unfortunately, it does affect their perfect attendance. I do realize that it might have been out of their control, but it does affect their attendance, their perfect attendance, because it is an absence. That is for the second question. Ms. Cohen-Hodos can maybe help respond to this question.
Yeah, I think I'm an extra support to the counselors. So what I do instead of, you know, a counselor does academic and social support, mine is really based on the social emotional piece. So I'm really here to give extra time and support around that, and in conflict in particular, and community building. As Mr. Klatzker said, I support teachers in instituting community building practices throughout their classrooms and help build that into the school climate.
It's a much better answer than what I would have given. So thank you for that. Jonathan, is there any other questions? COVID related, social emotional pieces?
Yeah,
Okay,
those are it for now. Thank you.
perfect. All right, let's talk about some of the events that are coming up second semester. And please, again, this is fluid, things do change, but we are keeping things as normal as we possibly can. So part of that normalcy is one of the things that we love, which is our intramural. So we're season 3, we're in season 3 here, third quarter sports. I put a little bit of a screenshot up here for you. So we have girls basketball, boys soccer, cross country. I think they're fine tuning and finishing up the tryout process. And then they're going to be choosing those teams very shortly if they haven't already done so. And I put a little bit of what the dates are for each of these for the sports, as you can see on the screen. And this is very exciting. I went out there before the weekend and saw tons of boys trying out for soccer. I saw tons of girls trying out for basketball. The cross country, they were probably running, so I didn't get to see them there. But I did see the soccer and the basketball, and it was fantastic. It was great to see all the kids out there and participating in the athletics. We do have student testing coming up. We're going to have a special March 31st. Coffee with the Principal will focus on testing. It'll give you a lot of information. That 31st will be primarily about CASP. So that's the second item on there. LPAC, which is first, which is the English Language Proficiency Assessments for California, is going to be occurring on 2/28 and 3/1 for some of our ELD and our EL students, 3/9 and 3/10. So Ms. Choi is preparing our teachers to give that test to our students. And I do believe we have some workshops that are coming up, and Ms. Choi is going to be sharing that a little bit later in our 10 o'clock meeting as well. CASP, which stands for California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, occurs after spring break. So that goes from March 30th to approximately April 25th. It's not every day. It is split up. So don't think that the students are testing the entire time. They're not. I just gave you the calendar month that we're doing it in. And again, we'll focus that on in March 31st. We do the Smarter Balance Assessment for math and English in both 7th and 8th grade. And then we do the California Science Test only in 8th grade. If your student has special needs, there is an alternative test that we do for the science test. Also, all of the accommodations are embedded, and we do provide those non-embedded supports as well. Those are all part of the process, and that'll be going over on March 31st. Are there any questions about testing? Okay. Last year we did it remotely. This year it's all going to be in person. All right. Open house, which is scheduled for February 9th. There will be more information to come from the district office regarding open house. This is under discussion right now. They are discussing the amount of impact that it'll have with people here on campus and so on and so forth. So please know that more information will be coming soon regarding open house. And once I get that information in an official capacity, I will share that with my community, with the community. So I just wanted to make sure that you were all aware that we do know that open house is next month, but discussions, and we'll have more information to come soon. All right. Now, one of the things that they are looking at and discussing that is doing a district-wide, we have a district-wide STEAMapalooza, but really doing more of a big focus because it's a little bit later in second semester on April 23rd. So we're looking at a pretty strong Lexington presence at STEAMapalooza. It is going to be at Magnolia High School. It is a Saturday. So kids can probably also get counted for our Saturday Academy as a way of making up one day of attendance. But it's going to, we're looking at to have a pretty strong Lexington focus, and then it'll be a real district-wide effort. And, you know, we're all hoping that by April 23rd, things will have died down a little bit in Omicron and cases and so on and so forth. All right, any questions regarding some of my updates that I just shared with everybody? Okay. All right, Jonathan.
Sorry, yeah, I'll kind of take over the next 3 slides. Just want to update parents on some of the parent kind of opportunities coming on. Yesterday, we hosted our first session of Ready, Set, Go. So this is the second time we're hosting these. We hosted this in the first semester. Just a series of workshops to get our parents ready and prepared. Kind of the first one on Ready was just what the return of school looked like. Like I said, we did this the first semester, so we're doing it the second semester. Some relevant information, not too much. Our second one is going to be Set. We're going to be covering educational platforms, so that's Aries and eCadence. And then our third one is Go, talking about unlimited opportunities. So that's just talking about the different district initiatives and things we have going on, talking about the 5 C's, talking about the career preparedness system framework, touching a little bit on the pledge. So a lot of information on that one, on where the district is going and opportunities for your students here at AUHSD. So these are Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and I will be posting those presentations on our website the following day. So if you go on our website now, you'll be able to see the presentation from yesterday. Go ahead and click on next slide. So the district is also offering some mindfulness workshops for parents. So it's going to be 4 sessions starting on February 28th at 6 p.m. These are virtual sessions, and each school has been allotted 3 spots for parents. So if you're interested in participating in these mindfulness workshops, feel free to email me. Interpretation is available in Spanish and Vietnamese as well. So it'll be open for English, Spanish, and Vietnamese speaking families. So once again, if you're interested in mindfulness, go ahead and shoot me an email. And then I'll open this up on our Monday memo if we don't get our 3 parents today. And then just one more final plug. The district has been working on revamping our Parent Leadership Academy. For those parents that have been with us for a couple of years, you might be familiar with our Parent Leadership Academy. It used to be a 7-series module where we talk about A through G, the importance of grades, how to help your child at home. We are revamping it, and we created 4 modules now, which cover cultural awareness and identity, growth mindset, models of leadership, and civic engagement. We're hoping to pilot this March 2022, so in a couple months, 2 months, but we do need 2 parents per school site to go ahead and present to you, get feedback from you, and see if this is relevant, see if this is helpful for our school communities. So we will be presenting at the district office on Thursday, February 3rd, 9:30 to 11:30. So if you are interested in representing Lexington at this meeting, please shoot me an email. Once again, we will have interpretation in Spanish, Korean, and I believe Arabic as well. Those are just upcoming opportunities for our parents. Like I said, if you're interested, shoot me an email. If we don't get parents, I will go ahead and put it on our Monday memo and open it up to a school-wide community. I think that's it.
You know, I just want to while we're on this page with these modules, looking at the Parent Leadership Academy, we are a lot of what you see on those modules with cultural awareness and identity, the growth mindset, models of leadership, and civic engagement. Those are a lot of the tenets that we have in our mission statement as well, right? These are the things that we do with our students, and we want them to also have that growth mindset and be civically engaged. So it's great if you are interested in participating as a parent. We would love for you to do this. I do see a lot of the usual people on our Coffee with the Principal, so it's great to see you here and involved. And so if you want to be a little bit more involved in a leadership capacity, we'd love for you to email Mr. Barba and be a part of that. And then finally, I wanted to say thank you to everybody. Let us know if you have any questions. And I did, something just eluded me. I was going to share one more update with you, but I can't remember what it is. So, but in any case, please continue to read the Monday memos. All of our information is in there. We've worked really hard on making the Monday memos very visually pleasing, making it easy to look at as you scroll through it. Jonathan works on it every week as he collects all the various things from the staff, from me, from my APs, and then he puts it in there. And the Monday memo is really our communication device to all of you. So if you haven't already been looking at it, please look at it. It has all the information. You can scroll to the parts that are pertinent for you so that you can look at it and read through it. Gives you all of our updates and when things are happening. And so we know that when I get feedback from parents and I ask them, are you looking at the Monday memo? And they say, yes, absolutely, I am. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to a more informal discussion. And we can, I put on there our 2 assistant principals. So if you have anything that you need to talk with them about specifically, you can email them. They will get back to you right away. Or if you would like to contact the main office, I put the main office number on there as well, 220-4201. But we have a great staff. Jonathan's been doing a great job. We've been really reaching out to everybody, working through these pieces. And like I'm gonna end with this part is, again, you know, I have these pictures that are on the class. These are recent pictures, by the way. These are things that are happening within the last 2 to 3 weeks. For example, presentations that are happening in the classroom, or photos, our students taking photos walking around the campus. When you walk onto Lexington and you see lunchtime or you see the classes, it very much looks, students are engaged and doing all the pieces they should be doing, which is really exciting for us because that's really where we want them to be. We really want them to focus on school, enjoy their time here, build friends, community, and then really get something out of their 2 years. So I leave it with that. Thank you to everybody who joined me today. I want to open it up for questions that you might have. If you don't feel like unmuting your mic, please feel free to put it in the chat box.
I think just the other update that we mentioned but didn't have a slide for is our next coffee with the principal is February 17th. We will be joined by Eunice Kim, who's a Cypress High School student. She will be presenting on the CPSF, the Career Preparedness System Framework. So once again, that's a district initiative. She'll be talking more about that, but we will also be joined by Carrie Vaughn, who is a Cypress counselor. She'll give a quick presentation on the different pathways at Cypress and ways students can get involved once they're in there. So it'll be a perfect opportunity to ask some questions. It's not necessarily on registration, but it's a perfect opportunity to just learn a little bit more about Cypress so you can share with your students when they are doing registration. So they'll get a full-on registration presentation by the counselors, but she'll be joining us on the 17th just to talk a little bit more about Cypress.
Perfect. That was exactly what I was going to share as the final update, was the upcoming coffee with the principal. So thank you, Jonathan. Would anybody like to ask any questions? Feel free to unmute your mic. If you're daring, you can take your camera, you can take the video on too. If not, you can put information in the text box. And then as always, if it's something that it's a little bit more private or you thought about it something a little bit later, feel free to email any of us, Mr. Barba, myself, my assistant principals, counselors. We'll be happy to get back to you very, very quickly.